This video explains how to calculate the minimum and maximum value by groups in a pandas data frame using the Python programming language. So without too much talk, let's dive into the Python code. As a very first step, we need to import the pandas library, as you can see in the first line of code. And then we also need to create an example data frame using the data frame constructor. So after running these lines of code, a new data frame called data is created. And we can print this data frame below the code box using the print function. And then you can see that our example data frame contains 8 rows and the 4 columns x1, x2, group 1 and group 2, whereby the columns x1 and x2 contain numeric values and the columns group 1 and group 2 are group indicators. Now let's assume that we want to calculate the maximum value by groups in the group indicator group 1. Then we can apply the group by function in combination with the max function, as you can see in the third code box. And within the group by function, we need to specify the name of the column that we want to use to group our data frame. So after running this line of code, a new output is returned, which shows the maximum values by the groups in the column group A for the 3 remaining columns x1, x2 and group 2. So for example, the value 8 is the maximum value in the group A in the column x1. We can also calculate the minimum value by group by replacing the max function with the min function, as you can see in the next line of code. So after running this line of code, you can see that the minimum value, for example, in the group A in the column x1 is equal to 6. We can also group our data frame based on multiple columns, as you can see in the next line of code. And in this case, we have to assign a list of group columns within the group by function. So in this case, we use the group 1 column as main group and the group 2 column as subgroup. So after running this line of code, you can see the maximum values by subgroups in our data frame. So for example, the maximum value in the main group uppercase A and the subgroup lowercase a is equal to 8 in the column x1. Similar to that, we can also calculate the minimum value by subgroups, as you can see in the final line of code of this tutorial. So in this case, we are replacing the max function by the min function, and then you can see the minimum values by subgroups in our data frame. That's all I wanted to explain in this video. In case you want to learn more on this topic, you may check out my homepage statisticsglobe.com, because on my homepage I have recently published a tutorial in which I'm explaining the content of this video in some more detail. I will put a link to this tutorial into the description of the video, so you can find it there. If you have liked this video or if you have any questions, let me know in the comments section below. I'll try to respond to all comments as soon as I can. Furthermore, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel to get notified about future video releases. I have already published about 500 videos on this channel and I'm releasing new videos on a daily basis. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next video.